May I come in, sir?
Come in.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon. Have your seat, Ricky.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully you have taken vaccine doses.
Yes, sir.
That's good. So you may remove your mask given the fact that your chair is also been kept at a safe distance.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us something about you.
Sir, I am Ricky Agarwal. I hail from Siliguri, West Bengal. I have done my BTech in Instrumentation Engineering from IIT Kharagpur. Currently, I am undergoing on-job training as Indian Civil Account Service probationer.
Okay. And when did you join this training?
Sir, 2019 January.
19 January. So it's already 2 years, more than 2 years.
So, I beg your pardon, sir, 20 January, sir.
So how long this training is likely to continue?
Sir, for 2 more months, sir.
Thereafter you will be posted where?
Posted in one of the civil ministries, sir, as Assistant Controller of Accounts.
Delhi in itself.
Delhi, yes, sir.
Okay. So this, how old this department, DCA?
Sir, initially both audit account and civil account were a same department, but after 1976, when the departmentalization of account happened, from 1st of April 1976, civil account organization came into being, sir.
Okay. So what exactly are the functions of this department?
Sir, functions are firstly the payment functions of the civil ministries, and then the accounting. Then they play a role in budgeting of the civil ministries and internal audit.
Okay. And this department also makes projections about the performance of economy.
So not directly, sir. We are not involved in projection of economy, but when we do the budget,
revenue collection estimates are published month to month.
Yes, sir. Based on the expenditure trends, it is mentioned on a monthly basis.
Okay. So what are the new trends of revenue receipts?
Sir, when it comes to GST, the revenue receipts are good in terms of the collections, and the income tax collections are stagnant, haven't shown much of a buoyancy.
Why?
Sir, there can be a couple of factors, sir. First is the unemployment rate in the economy, sir. The unemployment has been increasing over the years. So, people who have been filing tax also have filing zero return taxes. This can be one of the factors, and also the loopholes in the systems. Recently, the Infosys design system also went down, and we have not been able to plug all the loopholes which result into tax evasion, sir.
Why, in spite of so much fanfare about controlling the black economy, broadening the tax base, number of ITRs has increased significantly and government keeps boasting about it, but it's not translating in terms of revenue collection, apart from the reasons you have said? Any other reason?
Sir, exactly I'm not sure, but probably the exemptions which are given, sir, the limit is also raised, and so much of exemptions has been given, so people, CAs have a lot of ways of going around the system to ensure that their clients pay zero tax, sir.
You studied in Kharagpur IIT, and it has been Kharagpur IIT has been very prestigious institution.
Yes, sir.
But it is seen that in recent years, a large number of graduates are opting out of engineering core area. Why this new trend is emerging from Kharagpur graduates?
Sir, one of the reasons which I can think is that our manufacturing sector job has not increased, sir. We have not been able to ensure a good manufacturing sector in our country, sir. So the linkage between the academics and industry, it's not very effective, and the smooth flow is not there. So when people seek good opportunities outside the core area of engineering, sir.
But this is amazing that in 1991, when the new industrial policy was adopted and liberalization and decontrol and delicensing policies were initiated, it were all initiated with the expectation and with the big claims that it will usher in a revolution in industrial sector and manufacturing sector will grow to become world-class kind of thing. Why in this 30 years of liberalization, it is not paying off the way it was expected?
Sir, two reasons which is coming to my mind is, firstly, we have not sustained the reforms which were initiated, sir, especially factor market reforms like land, labor, and the capital. We have not made much reform in that direction. Second is, sir, the education system, sir. Though our economy has opened up, we have not transformed our education system to align with the needs of economy, sir. There is gap and mismatch between the two. So till the time we increase the quality of education in higher education and ensure that there is a good ecosystem of industries, I think that this problem will remain.
The Indian corporate sector has not been made perhaps accountable to many of the tasks for economy. For example, Indian corporate sector does not pay sincere attention to R&D. So they are not successful in product diversification. If you look at Samsung, this company is relatively new compared to many of the Indian companies in many of the business lines, but they have achieved tremendous kind of product diversification and achieved huge successes in there. And the similar kind of things are not recorded by the old companies of India, Tata Group and Birla Group and all these things. Why Indian companies are not focusing on designing new products and are focusing on R&D?
Sir, developing new product have long gestation periods, sir. They require long fund and long duration also. So hand holding by government becomes very essential when research ecosystem has to be developed, sir. And also because the lack of human resource, sir, quality human resource is also an issue, sir. So I think, sir, we have not been able to build the ecosystem around which the private sector can ensure that R&D and our research and development take place, sir.
Okay, Ricky, thank you, sir.
So, gentlemen,
Yes,
my direct question from anthropology, right? Look, West Bengal can be considered an ideal area for my question. The northern part of West Bengal having a particular type of tribes, and then western part of West Bengal having a different type of tribes, and the eastern part, that is delta belt, having a quite different type of tribals. My question is, why there is differences in anthropological profile of three different areas of West Bengal in terms of what tribal identity?
sir, West Bengal is a state, sir. It has its own boundary, but tribe had their own socio-cultural boundaries, sir. Coming to Western tribes, sir, they have the more cultural similarity with that of the Chota Nagpur Plateau, sir, because the area has continuity with that region, sir. And coming to the northern part of West Bengal, sir, the geography is different, sir. They are hill tribes, and
Why there is a differences? Why there is a differences among three? Whatever the anthropological profile, just I want to give you example. The northern tribes are having a different linguistic and racial identity, Mongolite, right? And the eastern built-up tribe having a different language or dialects, and whatever the western part having a different, even the occupation are different. Look, see, the eastern part tribes are largely involved in catching fish, right? And the northern part tribes are involved in you can consider various trade and commerce now, tourism also. And the western part is still engaged in traditional thing, that is primitive agriculture and mining laborer. Why such differences as an anthropology student? Why such differences?
sir, difference can be traced to history and geography also, sir. So historically, sir, migrations from
Good.
different place has taken place, sir. And the geography of all the three regions is different, sir. One is the hilly region, one
Yes,
is the
now
plateau.
I could understand. Yes.
One is
You
the
got-
plateau.
You got the point, and I got my answer.
Thank you, sir.
Next question of mine is West Bengal is seriously under discussion. First, because of name change, and that is going to be changed instead of West Bengal. Finally, West Bengal and central government going to consider this area as a Bengal, right? My question is there is a demand or emerging demand of North Bengal must be a different state and South Bengal must be a different state. My question again, what is the actually basis of demand of North Bengal as a separate state on the basis of anthropology? What anthropological basis, valid basis for demand of a separate state of North Bengal? Yes, please.
Sir, there are cultural difference between the ethnic Bengali in other part of the West Bengal and the northern part. There are Gorkha people, there are Rajbangshi, which do not relate to the idea of ethnic, the mainstream idea of Bengal, culturally. The language is different.
One is good reason. Second reason,
Language is different, so spoken is different. And
what about governance?
so governance, they think that their stake in the government is, they are not able to have that much of stake in the government when the governance is done from the Calcutta. So when that will be state, then the capital will be
What
closer.
about geography? What is the geographical basis?
So even the geography, sir, northern part is delta, Tarai and the hilly region. Other part is the plain and the plateau and delta. So even the geographical differences exist.
Okay. Next question of mine is what? Look, we have very different type of data coming from what Kerala, in particular. Last actually 3 days, more than 1 lakh cases from Kerala, right? And then there is slight rise of what COVID-19 cases in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, right? You consider on the basis of such data, there would be third wave in what somewhere in what October, November. What's your analysis?
Sir, as far as the Kerala project data are, I think they are still in the second phase, sir. And they haven't moved ahead of the second phase.
Good. Very good point. Look, the latest technology in your area of material science, you are BTech in what?
Instrumentation engineering.
Engineering. So in instrumental engineering, we have latest actually technology. We call it what? Energy harvesting. How energy harvesting, the latest technology, can be used to give, climate justice to each and every individual across the world, in general, India in particular?
Sir, every country is having a different developmental phase, sir. Developing countries need a lot of energy so that poverty, economic development can take place, sir. Poverty can be addressed. So a lot of them are dependent on coal, fossil fuel, which is very environmentally damaging. So they want to shift ahead, but they don't have an alternatives. When we can have energy harvesting technologies, clean source of energy, they can also ensure the developmental needs without polluting the environment.
Another technology, we call it what? Sensor fusions. Have you read or interact with this technology? Have you ever interact with advanced driver assistance system, ADA?
Oh, no, sir, I haven't.
Smart sensors?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So how a smart sensor can be used for what actually national security around line of control and line of actual control? How you can use?
Sir, smart sensor can detect any motion in that region, any physical motion or human motion, even remotely. So if the terrain is difficult, we don't have to post our soldiers there in difficult hostile terrain. Even remotely, by using those sensor, we can.
What should be the stations for those such type of sensors? What should be stations? Ground stations, what aerial or satellite, where you would like to actually adjust them for better or best possible what actually tracing and tracking of what cross-border terrorism. Yes, please.
Sir, I don't have much idea about.
Okay, thank you.
Ricky.
Yes,
Ricky, recently we have gone through the phase of the COVID-19 period. It was a very tough time, and we are also assuming and expecting the coming wave. But during this time we have seen the problem of the data authentication from the government of India. Related with this, one Supreme Court judge, he has mentioned about that the government should come up with the authentic data. At the same time, it is the duty of the citizenry to demystify the truth. Do you think that the government has been failed in this way to provide the actual and authentic data to the people of India?
Sir, I don't see it as a failure. I see it as a condition which has been forced by the circumstances, sir.
Okay.
When something as speed and as complicated as COVID pans out, then many times there can be loopholes in counting the data, sir. So we can always go back and do the auditing and find out the exact number of data, sir. So I think we should do that.
I understand. Recently, we have seen in West Bengal and the central government, these two governments had been at the loggerheads over varieties of the issues, whether it may be, the funding of the projects or electoral, violence or anything else. What do you think? Why central government and the state governments are at loggerheads?
So there are two reasons which I am able to think. One can be attributed to the evolving nature of our federalism, sir. When state regional parties are asserting their own rights, and we are trying to carve what can be the domain of functions between state and center. Other, I think a lot of it is political also, sir.
Anything else that you can think of?
Sir,
Strong leadership? Apart from the central leadership, strong regional leadership?
Yes, sir.
All right. As sir has mentioned about that means climate justice. Since we tend to see and observe also, because of the developmental project, the people are being displaced from one place to the another place. Without a proper displacement policy, how we could ensure that climate justice to the people, particularly those who are vulnerable and vulnerable section of society, tribals, minorities, and other section of societies.
Sir, we have to involve all the stakeholders, the scientists.
Do we have any policy regarding this?
So we have a policy regarding the resettlement and rehabilitation, but not specific to climate relocation, sir.
Okay. Since you come from the West Bengal, your neighboring country is that is Bangladesh. What are the similarities politically and socially that West Bengal shares with the Bangladesh?
Sir, in terms of social similarities, there are cultural similarity between both the part. Bengali is the language which is spoken.
Right. Language is one part.
Right. And in terms of festival, there is similarity, sir.
Right.
In terms of food, there is a lot of similarity. Fish, rice is very prominent there.
Right.
Also, in terms of socially, women empowerment, I think, sir, in both the region, women
both have the women political leadership.
Yes, sir.
Right. There is any project which is going on between West Bengal and Bangladesh? Marketplace or something else? Can you recall?
Yes, sir. Border Hearts projects are going on.
Okay.
And also, sir, bus between bus services.
Is it functional?
Sir, I don't know the exact stage, sir. The proposal was there.
I have heard that Bangladesh per capita income has recently gone up as compared to the India. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Any specific reason?
Sir, over the years, sir, the initiative like SSG, textile industries, the cooperative microfinancing have done particularly very well in that region. They have been able to uplift a lot of the population out of poverty. This is one of the reasons, sir, I think they have done fairly well.
I understand, sir.
Ricky, you have mentioned in your DEF that you had been an NCC cadet, right?
Yes, sir.
So what were the factors that led to the introduction of NCC in India?
Sir, exactly I do not know the contours which went behind, but the idea was to inculcate sense of discipline, knowing the camaraderie, having the camaraderie spirit, knowing the diversity of India when people of different region will be exposed together. I think, sir, this can be some of the reasons.
Okay, you belong to Siliguri town, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the strategic significance of Siliguri corridor for India?
Sir, that is a narrow piece of land which connects a northeast region with that of other part of the country, and even China is very close to the Siliguri corridor. So having the smooth functioning of that corridor becomes very important to ensure the connectivity of all the part of our country.
So what India is doing to ensure that it is not vulnerable to it in future?
So India is doing, sir, two-step initiatives. Sir. Firstly, we are guarding our Siliguri corridor very effectively, sir. There are different forces, right from Air Force to Army to BSF posted in and around Siliguri corridor. Secondly, we are trying to diverse our routes and connectivity, like Kaladan multimodal project, or we are trying to engage with Bangladesh to open up a Tetulia corridor so that our interests can be diversified.
Okay. You belong to Darjeeling district, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, of late, West Bengal government is mulling over the idea of introducing coffee cultivation over there. Okay. So, what are the climatic conditions suitable for coffee cultivation?
Sir, the climatic conditions are very similar to that of the tea, like a bit of altitude, rainfall is required, and slope and sunshine is very useful for coffee cultivation, sir.
Do you know about Swamit scheme?
Swamitva, sir, are you referring to the mapping of land in the
Yeah,
rural
exactly. Yeah,
areas?
yeah, yeah. So, what is its main objective?
So to delineate the land rights, sir, and ownership, sir, because there are a lot of disputes, especially in the rural areas. People don't know their boundaries. They don't have their conclusive rights. To establish that, a scheme has been brought forward.
Okay. You know that some laws are kept under the 9th schedule. Okay. So, is it open to judicial review? 9th schedule?
Yes, sir. They are open to judicial review,
Okay.
especially after IR Kehlo case, sir.
Mhm.
That whatever has been put inside the 9th schedule after 1973, they can be questioned by Supreme Court based on the premise that they do not violate this basic structure.
So, you said after
Sir,
IRLO case.
after Kehlo case, I think it was 1980, sir.
Mhm. What do you mean by inversion of temperature?
So, in normal circumstances, when we go above in the altitude, the temperature decreases, sir. But in case of inversion of temperature, the temperature increases as we move upwards.
Okay. Sir.
Ricky, an engineer and opted anthropology.
Yes, sir.
You hail from West Bengal,
Yes, sir.
a state with a woman chief minister,
Yes, sir.
and your interest is cricket.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the name of the captain of the Indian cricket team?
Sir, of Indian men cricket team is Virat Kohli, and in women cricket team is Mithali Raj.
Mithali Raj. Good. So cricket is known as gentleman's game.
Yes.
Don't you think it is a bit patriarchy?
Yes, sir. The vocabulary a lot of times have patriarchal.
Because for a women's team, we cannot say that gentleman's game. We should say gentlewoman's game.
Yes, sir. I agree, sir. Vocabulary are victims of the past social structure, sir.
Vocabularies are the victims of the past social
Structure.
Don't you think that being the people from the new generation, we should make a move that we should try to bring in new vocabularies?
So definitely, sir. This
Like
should be taken.
for new vocabulary, we have binge watching. It was not in the past. It's now a new trend.
Yes, sir.
So, as a cricket lover, don't you think you should have that idea and you should start a campaign online?
Yes, sir. This never came to my mind, sir. But this is a good idea, sir. We should
Can I
take this
ask you
on.
one question? Why didn't it come in your mind?
Sir, something, sir, we are also I am also product of my own society, sir. So somewhere the patriarchal mindset is also based in my mind,
But
sir.
one thing, Ricky, when I asked about the captain of cricket team, you thought for a second,
Yes, sir.
then took a pause, and then said, "For men, it's Virat Kohli. For women, it's Mithali Raj." Cool, that's good. You could have said, "For women, it's Mithali Raj," and then for men, it's it. Why I'm saying this? You belong to a state which is known a lot for women empowerment and things. But one thing which haunts me a lot about West Bengal. West Bengal has been the center of Indian Renaissance, and West Bengal has given a lot of people who hail from good literature and things. Then what happened post 1947 to West Bengal?
Sir, I think it became the victim of its own glory, sir. That it was a rich state, prosperous state, a lot of freedom fighter came. That was the reason why Britisher tried to capture it the first. And the extreme exploitation of Britisher to crush the nationalism spirit was very high there. And then what we see is around the wake of independence, the famine, the partition, the relocation of
This is
migrant.
one thing that created a problem.
Yes, sir.
But this is the state, West Bengal is the state which rose higher under suppression itself. when British came, they took over and tried to control the people of Bengal. They proposed their intellect, they worked hard and brought, or we can say they turned the wheel for complete India. Then why can't now new generation Bengalis can do that?
Sir, to my understanding, sir, the intellectual often develops on the basis of good economy, sir. And what we have seen after independence, sir, the economy of West Bengal has suffered a lot. First, after partition, then Naxalism, then the 1971 war and the partition and the Bangladesh issue.
Oh, Ricky, somewhere you are, can I infer from what you're saying that you're trying to blame the governments that had been in place in West Bengal?
Sir, the governance has been one of the issue. Apart from governance, there has also been historical events, sir. The Naxalism, the refugee crisis, 71 war.
For Naxalism or refugee issues, I can say that somewhere Naxalism could have been solved by the people themselves or not, because the system called them Naxal, they are our own people. Let it be. My last question would be, if you are placed in a district where Naxalism is high and you had lived there for a longer period of time in that district in your early ages, and then you find the issue rising high again, what would be your first way to resolve it?
So the first way to resolve is, if there is a violence activity, sir, I have to curb that, sir. The security concerns has to be addressed first, sir. And then has to be looked at as a developmental issue, sir. That why people, the developmental fruits have not reached people.
Means
sir.
to infer from what you said, first, if there is violence, first check that violence,
Yes, sir.
and then look from the perspective of developmental issues.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ricky.
Ricky, nowadays there is a popular demand that we should rewrite our own history. History should not be presented in a way which demotivates the present generation. It should rather be a motivating force, history reading. So there is a controversy on different issues, like the Battle of Haldi Ghati was won by Rana Pratap or Akbar forces. So what is your approach? Should we rewrite history the way it suits us?
Sir, I see history not as a source of motivation but source of learning, sir. So whether it demotivates or motivates, it should tell us the complete picture, sir. So many of the incidents in the past which has been written by the victors have probably taken only one narrative. So it is time now that we see the issue from the multiple aspects, sir, so that our understanding of the issue increases. So if the purpose of rewriting is to bring in more evidence, more fact, increase understanding, then we should go ahead with rewriting history, sir.
Okay. So you know that there are different schools of history. One is colonial history also, and colonial history has tried to create a mindset among the educated people, particularly the bureaucracy, which suits their purpose and does not challenge their authority. That mindset even continues after independence. So even the dress code is same as decided by the colonial powers. We have not yet indigenized even the dress code and mindset. We still remember Cornwallis as the father of Indian administration. In the wake of the new call of the government that we should have Atmanirbhar kind of mindset, so that Atmanirbhar economy emerges, and we should make India, that means indigenization of the entire process. So in this context, the new goals of the nation, which kind of narrative do you think should be dominant in history writing? Of course, we'll have multiple approach, but still there would be some narrative which will take dominance.
Sir, I think, sir, again, sir, we have to show the complete picture, sir. We are our people have the ability to grasp and take it and interpret the history in their own way, sir. And we should leave it to the people to decide what they want to take from our past. We have a glorious past, so we should leave past as it is and keep it open for interpretation, sir.
Okay, Ricky. Nice talking to you. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
Come in, Ricky. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
So this is perhaps your third interview.
So, fourth interview.
Fourth. So how were the other earlier interviews?
Sir, gradually kept on improving, sir. First time around 150, then 160, then 171.
Okay. Okay. So this and how many marks were required last year to get your desired job?
Sir,
How
desired
many extra marks were required?
extra marks, sir, around 30 to 40 marks.
Okay. And which paper dampened that?
Sir, optional paper.
Anthropology.
Yes.
In all the 3 attempts?
No, sir. One attempt interview got less marks, then one attempt GS paper, then the other attempt anthropology.
Okay. In the 3 different occasions, 3 different
Yes, sir.
regions there. So this time, what is your assessment about GS and anthropology?
Sir, good, sir. I'm
Better than last
better.
year.
Yes.
Okay. See, your interview is as on predicted line. You are already in the service and you have gone through interview process. So this is why I asked, because we remember that you came last year also. So you know the nitty-gritty of the requirements of interview and you have prepared accordingly.
Yes.
Your personality is already made according to that. There are some positive and negative together. That means it is already developed according to that requirement of bureaucracy. So you look mature candidate already in a service, but comes with that the negative dimension that freshness is missing. Everything looks that you are predicting everything, you are assessing everything, and you are kind of commanding everything. So you have to somehow bring in some kind of freshness. Think how you could bring it. Your answers are very methodical
Okay.
and is precise also, to the point, well structured. So that's good, but a natural flow which is kind of giving a refreshing feel is required, expected. So to bring in that, rest of the thing, that means all the other parameters, you know that your entry is good, the greeting, etc. Your sitting posture is good, your facial expressions are positive. On the body language part, that is non-verbal, you have a hand movement on several
Yes, sir.
occasions. Watch your video, and if you can help it stabilize,
Okay.
try to do it. You also have some eye movement. That means we expect that your eye should be stable with the person you are talking to. And another thing is that along with that freshness, maybe you can bring it some energy.
Okay.
Maybe a little display some passion in answering questions on particularly your optional and department related question. You should start answering with enthusiasm and passion, and you are having a positive outlook about things, but maybe if you bring in some energy and passion, it will create a better impact. So you have reached at a stage that your score would be around that means if you have to cross 210 200 kind of thing, the only thing missing is that energy level and some passion, some energy. The rest of the things are perfectly in order, and the kind of score you got last year, you can easily, it's cakewalk for you to score that kind of marks this year also. And we expect that 10-15 marks addition will be very natural with the kind of experience. But to make it a 30-40 marks jump, the only thing is that passion, energy, a little bit non-verbal, hand movement, etc. And you look honest. That means there is not that questions about honesty and integrity, but it looks too much structured. So the only thing we believe that bring in some energy and passion and freshness.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
The rest of the things are fine. Any questions?
Sir, nothing for now, sir.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.